Thank you, Rana. Let me call to the stage. I know all of you have many questions or want to learn a lot about mentoring. I have to say that I'm here because one day in 1992, I asked Narra to mentor me, and one of the reasons I'm here. I also pissed off an audience as big as this before also because, oh, I should stop talking now. Okay. See, that's my mentor telling me to shut up. So, I always do this, foot in mouth. But yeah, I did it. In one event, I said, my dad, I love him, he's a role model, but he cannot mentor me for high-tech startup. And I said, I'm going to talk to Dado instead. And everyone said, you're so disrespectful, young man. But it's true, we need good mentors. So we're going to talk about mentors. We're lucky to have Eros Resmini, very successful Silicon Valley entrepreneur. And now he runs, he's a partner at 9+. Eros, could you join us up here? Eros has so many more glowing credentials, but please read it so that we can keep going. Tina Ampere as well. Tina Ampere is the founder of TechTalks. And she's the organizer of Geeks on the Beach. So if you want to go on the beach, hang out with geeks, Tina's the lady. She's also a product marketing manager for me in the Valley. Is Mikko Perez here? Mikko Perez, Chairman and CEO of Ayannah Information Systems. There's Mikko. He himself, also a former banker, very successful Ateneo graduate, Harvard graduate, MBA. So we'll learn a lot from Mikko as well. And finally, last but not least, of course, is Elmer. Back. All right, we'll have a very interesting conversation here. Okay, in case the mic blows up, since I know this mic's working right now, I'll talk from here for a minute, then I'll sit down. First guy with the mic is Eros. And I'd like to ask Eros how mentoring happens in the Valley. What's good about it, and if there's anything bad about it. You can tell us how it works.
Hi everybody. Just real quick, who's coming to the classes tomorrow? Who's going to be in the workshop tomorrow? Raise your hand. All right, my victims. You are all going to be taught. All right, okay, how to say that. So, mentorship in the Valley. I think the Valley is built on mentorship, frankly. If there's one theme that runs through every successful startup founder, it is this theme that there is somebody who has been through what the founder has been through before, either from a financing standpoint, a technology problem standpoint, maybe even just a tough time in the business and I just need someone to talk to from a psychology standpoint. It really flows throughout every single business and every single founder I've talked to. And the thing that happens in the Valley is mentorship is something that's given quite freely. People really do want to help other entrepreneurs. There's this, I've been given help and I want to give help back to the next generation of entrepreneurs. It is absolutely pure, it is beautiful. It's one of the things that makes the Valley so amazing. And to speak to the point that was made on stage just before you came up, Paco, that last year at the symposium, this theme of mentorship came up over and over again. And I think I was one of the folks that was pretty vocal about it as well. I would love to see that happen here. When I was at a lecture last year at the Idea Workshop, so many entrepreneurs were coming to me asking me for help, asking questions, and my first question back to them was, have you found a mentor that you get along with? Have you found someone locally that can help you with whatever problem you're going through that you trust, and has some level of expertise that they can bring to the table, and you can talk to them every day, because I'm happy to be an answer now.
Every day?
But every day. You need to have someone you can call. You may not actually make that phone call, Paco, clearly, but the fact that you know you can when you need to, that is the way mentorship works in the Valley, and I'd love to see that get replicated here.
Thank you, Eros. And for someone who's returned from Silicon Valley, Tina Ampere, can you tell us what you see? Like Eros talks about how it works in the Valley, everyone's open. Here, maybe people keep secrets. What do you see? What's the difference?
So the difference here is that, first of all, before I answer the question, thank you so much, PhilDev, USA, for coming to the science now. Really appreciate it. Thank you. That's a commercial, I trust you. Okay, in answer to your question, how is it different here? You mentioned in your talk that you asked Dado to be a mentor. We need more of you to ask people to be a mentor. Because you can't just sit there and wait for people to tap you and say, would you like me to be your mentor? So if you don't ask, you're not going to get it. And I'm so glad there's 600 people here that are interested in coming to the symposium about innovation and startups and trying to build something new. So the people that you see around you are going to be your support. So the key thing here to get mentorship and be successful in this new economy, new digital economy of ours, you have to ask for what you need. They're not going to come to you. And the people here, this is where you can start asking for help. Join groups, unite yourself to associations in your universities, your group of friends, if you like startups, if you like tech. Join all these events from DevCon, from TechTalks. You have to start connecting yourself with people that support you in your mission. It's not going to be a lot of fun. There's a lot of failures and frustrations, but you keep trying, you can't stop. Otherwise, you'll never get to where you want to go.
Good advice. And I'm worried that right after this symposium, everyone will ask Taro to be his mentor, or her mentor, right? And that's not sustainable. We're talking about sustainable, right? So Mikko, you're an entrepreneur here, you were also an investor in the past. How do you suggest that PhilDev and USA come up with a sustainable mentoring program? Because we want to help all of these young entrepreneurs here. How do we come up with something, maybe based on your experience as an entrepreneur?
From the past leader here. Let me think about that.
Oh, should I stick to the script? Okay. What is your view as an entrepreneur about how mentoring occurs in the Philippines? You are more experienced than most, so please help us understand how you would answer this on behalf. I'm just kidding. Say whatever you want to say.
I'm not used to cold calls anymore. It's been a while since I was in school. But anyway, well, I'll try to answer both and very succinctly. So again, to echo, learning from what I did in school before, echoing from Tina's comments, I think it starts with an attitude of the entrepreneurs here. So a lot of these people are starting out. I suggest you seek out people who want to start businesses or want to be entrepreneurs. Form a sort of like a support group, either in your school or in your industry. And then from there, seek out these, what's emerging is an ecosystem here in the Philippines, which actually I find quite encouraging. I mean, there's a lot of support available. There's the Founders Institute, there's PhilDev, there's all the universities are starting their own sort of like incubator and mentorship program, and seek them out. So again, Tina is very key. So it's really that it starts out with your attitude, isn't it? You gotta find the right resource to back on or to lean on. So I think the model of having one mentor doesn't work anymore. So in my case, for example, if it's something business related, I'll find a business person that's much more successful than I am to talk to. If it's something related to technical, then I talk to someone who's an engineer. If it's something related to product marketing, I'll talk to people in product marketing. So I think you really have to know what questions to ask, so that you can find out who to ask them to, right? So that's the key. And there's enough resources here. And by the way, there's two other places that I would first suggest before you hit Ado for advice. Go to Google, because right now, I don't know is no longer a valid answer to any question. First step, go to Google. Second step, go to Quora. Especially if it's something technical, or even something really trivia and irrelevant, but go to Quora. Those two resources of the web are amazing. And then from there, go local. Find someone in your community. So that's my...
Great. And this is really shameless, but I actually have a website called braingain.org, bgn.org. It's a Quora for, like Mikko said, you focus on the people you want to ask from. So BrainGain became a network of Filipino entrepreneurs. So if you want to ask specifically to a Filipino entrepreneur or someone who's in this ecosystem, and luckily we can ask Eros, who's also somebody who helps the Philippine ecosystem, go ahead and ask. That's my shameless thought, but PhilDev will come up with a better system, I'm sure. And that's why we're here, we're listening. And we had a script. But Elmer threw it out the window, sorry, because he's gonna, disturb the peace. Eros, you are mentoring, and you're mentoring all these young people. Or not all, but I'm sure all of them want you to be the mentor. How do you think we can sustain this? People in Silicon Valley with lots of global experience, many aspiring global entrepreneurs. And yet, it's very hard, and Mikko has to make trips to the Bay Area very often. How can we make this sustainable?
I don't know if I can pretend to have an answer, but I'll give you some ideas. Dado and I have had a chance to talk about this a lot in my conversations with him in the Valley. Look, at the end of the day, I think there are a tremendous amount of influencers and very smart people in this room right now. Many of which live here most of the time, if not all, full time. And I actually think the call needs to go to those individuals to say, look, someone has got to get the ball rolling, someone has to support this next generation of entrepreneurs. It's gonna be you. Whether you're a professor, whether you're a business person, you're an investor, you're an angel, you run a family office, and you have expertise in any given area, it is going to start with that group of people. And so I do think that PhilDev needs to encourage that. And certainly being a good mentor, there is a skill set involved in that. And I think PhilDev can certainly arm these folks that have the desire and the knowledge that maybe haven't been a mentor before. Give them some of those skills, provide some of those connection points. And for every single one of you that are going to be part of the workshop over the next couple of days, I think you guys need to start thinking about what kind of help you need. And let PhilDev know where are the areas that you feel like you need help so they have a very clear focus on what kind of talent, what kind of knowledge to bring to the table from this wonderful community of incredible entrepreneurs, VCs, angels. Paco, you're one of them as well. I mean, I think you guys are very, very well connected and very capable. But someone has to start to say, I'm willing to give my time to the community. And once that happens, I guarantee you the next generation of entrepreneurs will be the same decade.
Great, and Eric Malunas needs Elmer as the mentor for fashion, right? How do I dress up like Elmer Sotto and look so cool?
So cool.
But anyway, Elmer has a lot of good things to say, so let's disrupt right now.
The question that we're asking is, how do you find mentors? The question that we're not asking is, who trains for mentors? I'll actually encourage the entrepreneurs to be incredibly skeptical of the mentors that you choose. It's almost like having no mentor is better than having a slightly bad mentor. Let me put it this way. So you've been asked to be a mentor, right? Ego kicks in, and now some dude or gal keeps on yapping about something that they may not know much about. So the thing I think that's difficult for all of us is trying to mimic what Silicon Valley is and trying to bring that over here. Silicon Valley is built and runs on two currencies, lore and success. Lore comes from some kind of wild success or wild failure, and success measured by money. And they've had this for years and years and years and years. The challenge here is that we don't have that on the tech space. Name a big exit in the Philippines, or even name a big failure in the Philippines. So Mikko's point about being very, very thoughtful about choosing the right mentor for the right situation and making sure you ask them the right question. The one question I implore you not to ask is for those mentors who are truly mentors or want to be mentors. I implore you not to give them advice on one thing, which is the merit of your idea, right? That's just a bit. Let them fail, let them go hard. If that is the thing that they want to build, go hard. But what's important is that you ask the right questions and guide them through based on your expertise and not let your ego kick in and start giving them advice on shit that don't know anything about.
Hey, that's a bad word. There are coaches here in the Philippines that are not trained to be coaches. I'm a big sports guy, and I fight my wife sometimes. That's a bad coach, fire him. No, he's such a nice guy. He's a lousy coach. So, good point, right? Mikko, I see your presentations. You have so many smart people there. Are you just putting them for decoration? Just so you get money from the VCs? Or they really help you?
No, actually, they really help me. Of course, the money helps. But really, those people there, in fact, if you go to our website, you see technical advisors. These are people that I've met and I've become friends and sort of peers in the Valley. Many of them are very successful software entrepreneurs. So when I went to the Valley, this was back in 2000, I was a banker. I didn't know squat about, substrates and whatever, all this stuff. So what I did was for the first 2 years, just basically went all over 101 and 280 and just met as many entrepreneurs I could find. And from there, I created a network of friends, peers, and also more senior advisors who kind of helped me figure out where I could sort of fit into this ecosystem. One thing I wanted to add actually is when you're speaking or before you approach a very senior, successful person, someone like Dado or someone like one of my mentors, Roger Evans of Greylock, it's actually best not to listen to what they say, but to look at what they do. Let me tell you a little story. 10 years ago, I approached a very successful business person about a particular project. And when I pitched the project to him, he goes, you know what? $10 million, too small, Mikko. So, okay, then I cracked the joke. I said, hey, why don't we just do online gambling? It was a joke, actually. And he said, you know what, Mikko? You see, there's a chapel next door. His office had a chapel. I can't do that because my mother's not gonna like it. And then 10 years later, he built the biggest casino in the Philippines. So, what's the lesson there? Never really listen to what they say. Look at what they do. At least that's worked for me, rather than listening and asking for advice. Look at what successful entrepreneurs do, and that's where you follow the trail.
Okay, I'm told to wrap up, so 30 seconds each. Wrap up.
1, 2, okay. So, all of you will be in the workshop. You're the ones I care about. These guys are all great and they're very successful people, but it's the students that I'm here for. That's the reason I take the trip out a couple times a year. You will have a chance to work with myself and Ahmed for the next couple of days, and you may have questions. And you may have questions in particular to this topic around how do I find a good mentor. Take the opportunity to approach myself and Ahmed. We're more than willing to talk about it, and questions will come up, I guarantee it. So please take that to heart and take these comments to heart.
Shout out to those in Zamboanga, Davao, and cities that are not as big as Cebu. Please start within your local community to connect with each other. I will share a story that you guys heard about YouTube for Kids, right? YouTube for Kids? Apparently it was built by an engineer originally from Davao. So he's a team leader at YouTube. So you guys can go wherever you want to go, but it starts with you. That's the new hashtag. It starts with you.
So again, 3 things. One is create a group of peers. Ask who are asking the same questions. Normally you'll find them in your community or your industry or in your school. Second, figure out who to ask the questions to. But more importantly, look at people, sort of look at models, not just listen to what they say, look at what they do. And lastly, to echo Tina, Padayon is Ayas Mindanao.
There's a cultural challenge in the Philippines that's stopping us to become successful entrepreneurs, which is incredibly deferential. So all I ask is, again, be skeptical when you offer perspective. Just because they're older, just because they've done something, it does not mean that they deserve your respect and you call them sir and ma'am. What you should be looking at when you see someone is you want to say to yourself, I want to beat them. I want to do better. I strive for more. So be careful, and again, hold dear who you respect, and only offer to them when they've shown you that they deserve it. we are not going to wait. We're not going to build a successful business unless we're willing to blow things up.
Thank you for being patient with me, the irreverent host. And thank you so much. Give them respect.